Chapter 13. Into the jaws of dusk of August 16th, 2025, draped the Ohio woods in a blood-red haze as Jimmy Jacks crouched at the edge of Carter's camp, his crossbow steady, his heart hammering. Lila's scream, sharp, young, desperate, still rang in his ears, a call to action that turned their dusk raid into a now-or-never gamble. The Jacks homestead, with its 100 acres of fields, orchards, and bunker, was 2 miles behind, defended by Grandma and Ellie, but here in the Pines, the fight was for lives caved by Carter's trafficking empire. At 30, Jimmy felt the weight of every choice: lead, fight, survive, or lose it all. Grandpa Jacks was to his left, his .308 rifle aimed at the camp's lone guard by the fuel depot, his Vietnam scars taut with focus. Jenny knelt to his right, her botanist satchel packed with black powder explosives, her knife gleaming, her green eyes fierce but steady. Sam, the 16-year-old runaway, gripped his machete, his breath ragged, his hope for his sister, Lila, a fire that could burn them all. Ellie's sketch of the camp, 2 trucks, a motorcycle, a cage, and the unguarded fuel barrels guided them, but the escaped woman's warning of Carter's early move and 30 men loomed large. The camp glowed faintly, a clearing ringed by pines. 2 trucks idled near a tent, their red bandana-wearing guards. 5 now, not 6, sloppy but armed. The motorcycle stood parked, its rider absent. A small cage held 2 girls, one Lila, her face pressed of bars, her scream now a whimper. The fuel depot, barrel stacked behind a tent, was 30 yards away, the guard smoking, oblivious. "Guard first," Grandpa whispered, his scope locked. "Jimmy, take him silent." Jenny rigged the charges. "Sam, with me, we cover the cage." Jimmy nodded, his hunter's instinct sharp. "If it goes loud, we grab the girls and run." "No ruix." Jenny's hand brushed his, a fleeting anchor. "Be quick," she said, her satchel open, the black powder ready. Jimmy crept forward, his crossbow a shadow in the dusk. The guard was young, his bandana loose, his rifle propped against a barrel. Jimmy aimed, his bolt whispering through the air, striking the guard's chest. The man crumpled, silent, his cigarette sparking in the dirt. Jimmy signaled, and Jenny sprinted to the depot, her movements precise as she packed black powder at the barrel's base, rigging a fuse from bunker supplies. Grandpa and Sam moved to the cage, staying low. The girls inside stirred, Lila's eyes widening at Sam. "Sammy?" she whispered, hope breaking her voice. "Quiet," Grandpa hissed, his rifle scanning the camp. "We're getting you out." Jimmy joined Jenny, his crossbow up, covering her as she worked. "How long?" he asked, his eyes on the guard by the trucks, still arguing over a crate. 2 minutes, Jenny said, her hand steady. "Fuse will burn fast, 10 seconds to clear." A shout broke the silence, one guard spotting the fallen depot guard. "Intruders!" he yelled, raising his rifle. The camp erupted, for men fanning out, their bandanas dark as they fired into the woods. Bullets chewed pine bark, and Jimmy dug behind a barrel, firing a bolt that grazed a man's arm. "Light it," Grandpa barked, his rifle cracking, dropping a guard. Sam hacked at the cage's lock, his machete sparking but holding. Jenny struck a match, the fuse hissing to life. "Run!" she shouted, sprinting with Jimmy toward the cage. The guards closed in, 3 now, their rifles blazing. Grandpa's shot took another down, but the buzz-cut leader from last night emerged from the tent, a shotgun in hand, his roar cutting through the chaos. "Jack's filth," he bellowed, firing, the blast shredding a tree near Jimmy. "You're dead." Jimmy fired back, his bolt hitting the buzz-cut man's thigh, slowing him. Jenny reached the cage, her knife pry at the lock as Sam hacked. "Almost there," she said, her voice strained. The fuse burned, a snake of fire racing to the barrels. Jimmy grabbed Sam, pulling him back as the lock gave way. Lila and the other girl, a gaunt teen with haunted eyes, stumbled out, Sam catching his sister. "I've got you," he whispered, tears mixing with dirt. "Move!" Grandpa yelled, his rifle covering their retreat. The buzz-cut man limped forward, shotgun up, but the fuel depot exploded, a fireball lighting the dusk. Barrels erupted, shrapnel tearing through the tent. the blast knocking 2 guards flat. The trucks caught fire, their fuel tanks sparking, and the motorcycle toppled, its frame warped. The buzz-cut man screamed, his bandana singed, but he fired. The shotgun's blast grazing Grandpa's leg. "Fall back!" Grandpa grunted, limping but firing, his shot forcing the leader to cover. Jimmy led the group into the pines, Lila and the other girl, Clara, she gasped, clinging to Sam and Jenny. The camp burned behind them. The explosion a beacon that would draw Carter's full force. Jimmy's crossbow covered their rear, his bolts keeping the buzz-cut man at bay. "Keep moving!" he shouted, his lungs burning. They reached a ravine a half-mile from the camp and ducked into cover. Jenny checked Lila and Clara, her Yarrow poultice ready for their scrapes. "They're shaken, but okay," she said, her voice steady. "We need to get them to bunker." Grandpa leaned against a tree, blood seeping from his leg, his face pale but fierce. "Good work, but Carter'll know it was us. That blast bought us time, but his big push is coming." Sam held Lila, her thin frame trembling. "Thank you," he whispered, his machete dropped. His fight now for her. Clara's voice was a rasp. "Carter's got more girls. In the warehouse. He's moving them tomorrow. For the buyers. There's a radio. He talks to them. I heard it." Jimmy's blood ran cold. Ellie's intel, Nate's confession, Clara's words, they all aligned. The radio, Carter's link to his buyers, was their next target. "We got the depot," he said, "but the warehouse is where we end this. We need that radio." Jenny's eyes met his, her resolve a mirror. "We can't hit it tonight. The homestead's exposed and Grandpa's hurt." Grandpa snorted, tying a rag around his leg. "I'll live, but she's right. Carter's coming hard now. We fortify, use the girls' intel, plan the next strike." They moved. Slower now, Lila and Clara supported by Sam and Jenny. Jimmy and Grandpa covered the rear, the camp's fire fading glow. The homestead's trails were familiar, but every shadow felt like Carter's men. The stream's turbine hummed as they neared, a faint comfort. But the bunker's hatch was their goal. They reached it, Grandma opening the hatch, her 9mm ready. "You're late," she said, her nurse's eyes scanning Grandpa's leg. "Get inside now." Ellie rushed to Clara, her voice breaking. "You were in the warehouse. With me." Clara nodded. Their shared pain a bond. Martha, the neighbor, helped Lila to a cot, her own grief softened by purpose. Nate, still bound, looked up, his face crumpling at the girl's state. "You did this," Sam snarled, lunging at Nate, but Jenny held him back. "Enough," she said, her voice firm. "He's helping us now." Jimmy set his crossbow down, the map and Ellie's sketch on the table. "We burned the depot, got Lila and Clara. Carter's trucks are toast, but he's got more in Chillicothe. Clara says he's moving girls tomorrow, and there's a radio in the warehouse." Grandpa limped to a crate, Grandma stitching his leg. "Radio's the key," he said, his journal open. "Cut his comms. We blind his buyers. But we need to hold the homestead tonight. Carter's coming." Ellie's eyes burned, her voice steady. "The warehouse has a weak spot, sewer grate, east side. I crawled through it once, before they caught me. You hit there, you get the radio, maybe 3 more." Jenny's satchel was lighter, the black powder gone, but her resolve wasn't. "We rest, fortify, then hit the warehouse at dawn. Small team like tonight." Jimmy nodded, his guilt for every girl, still cage-worn with his duty to the homestead. "For now, we watch the roads. Carter's hurt, but he's not done." As they planned, traps reset, barricades checked. A new sound broke the bunker's hum. Not engines, but a horn, sharp and mocking from the eastern road. Grandpa's rifle was up, his voice grim. "Carter's taunting us. He knows we hit him, and he's ready to bite back." Jenny's knife gleamed, Lila's hand in hers, Ellie's sketchy battle cry. The raid had cost them blood and time, but the jaws of Carter's empire were closing, and the homestead heart would not break.